Vala has a company that's called Viska Learning, right? Viska, yeah. And she's going to tell you a little bit more about that company and what she does. So let's welcome Vala.
Yeah. Hi. So good to be here. So I was telling Kokki, I was stuck in traffic. That's why I was so late. I live downtown and like I didn't know it was like that. Like if you work in 101 and live there, yeah, this was strange. So yeah, my name is Vala, and I'm co-founder of a really new startup that's just taking off. And it's so new that I shouldn't really be here talking about it, but it could kind of trick me into coming here. So this will probably be brief. But we are so excited about what we're doing, and I'm so passionate about it. So I just love to talk about it and discuss it and get some feedback. So hopefully you will grab me afterwards and talk about it. So I'll just give you a short introduction, and hopefully you will probably hear me talk about this later when we are further on, and then you will see our progress. So a little bit about my background. I've been in the startup world for a while now. I started my first company immediately after financial crash, and I've gone through 2 companies before. Then I joined Quizza back in 2013, and I was an early employee there. And as you know, for a startup that scales up fast, you wear a lot of hats and you try everything. And I was managing multiple teams there and doing a lot of different stuff. And in the end, I was leading the business development efforts and the monetization, something that Quizza wasn't really good at for a long time. But finally, when I took that on, we were actually quite good at it. But as you know, Quizza closed down its Icelandic office last year, and I was there until last December. And then we started this new company just now in January. So it's 3 months. I'm talking about 3 months here. So from the beginning at Quizza, we were constantly asked to use Quizza for corporate learning or corporate training. Like I met with so many companies that all had the same problem. They were trying to create an engaging learning experience for their millennials, millennials in the workplace. And I had so many conversations with them where they were talking about that Quizza could probably be that solution for them, that they could use Quizza to engage the millennials. And then when Quizza closed down its Icelandic office, like a core team from Quizza really decided to grab that opportunity to just create an awesome experience for millennials. So many things have been talked and discussed about millennials. I am one of them. We are supposed to be lazy and really self-entitled. I'm not sure if I really agree to that, but there's other things that's maybe more true. Like we are really tech savvy, we are open-minded, and we run on instant feedback and gratification. Like we love our likes, and we love getting just feedback about everything that we're doing. And I think that's really true. Don't blame us. Like we were brought up by our baby boomer parents that were constantly praising us, telling us how amazing we are, and how unique we are. So it's not our fault that we are like this. It's all your fault. But I only see Vala and Kokki that are not millennials in this room, so it's the fault of you too.
Hey, I bleached my beard. I'm not this.
Yeah, so probably all of you are familiar with the concept, like the software is eating the world. This was a phrase that came out in 2011 in like a really famous article. Haven't you heard about it? Yes, Kokki? Yes, you know it. So like the concept stated that like every company needs to rethink them as a software company. Like every local taxi and a local hotel chain needed to be on their toes and figure out a great software strategy to not be taken over by the Ubers and the Airbnbs. Like now it's 6 years ago since that article came out. And I think that change has already happened. It's happening slower in some sectors, for example, in the financial sector, but it's definitely happening. So in my opinion, the next wave is now happening. I'm just waiting for the article about it. That's analytics. Like all the companies have just rushed to the cloud. They have their software in place, and they have their amazing program in place, and they hopefully, if they're doing it right, they're tracking the data. But what will really be the differentiator between the ones that will use it is the companies that figure out how to use that data and the analytics to increase the value. And for Viska, my new companies, this is important because we are focused on the people analytics and how we can use the people analytics to increase value of the company, increase value of companies and employees. And I think this is the future, definitely for HR. Companies need to be able to track how their people are doing and figuring out the kind of the knowledge status of a company. And this is exactly what Viska is trying to build. Viska is like an analytics machine hidden inside a really fun and engaging social game. It's as fun and social as the games that millennials are just playing for fun, but at the same time we are tracking exactly how the employee is learning and forgetting. And that way we are creating like a really personalized learning experience for each employee. And that's so valuable for the company because that way they are kind of figuring out, they know exactly at every time just the knowledge status of the company. We're basing it on scholarly research on both learning and forgetting trends. And we're basically basing the model on that you need to iterate on knowledge to be able to retain the knowledge. And this is especially true for millennials. We have shorter attention span than previous generations. There was this report that really went viral that stated that our attention span is only 8 seconds, which is kind of crazy. I'm not sure it's true. It probably depending on the person. But if that's true, then you can't push out information to your employees through a lecture that's 1 hour and you think that the employees would just remember everything after that hour. Studies show that you forget 90% of the stuff after even an hour if you just hear it from the lecture. So what we are basing everything on that we need to push the information out in bite-sized form to the employees. So they will be able to really retain the knowledge and be able to, for the company to be at 100% knowledge status every time. And yeah, as I said in the beginning, we are early on. I shouldn't be here talking about it. It's all Haukur's fault. We are actually pushing out our alpha this month with multiple companies, which is really, really exciting. We have like a pre-alpha of the product ready that we are just playing around with it at the office. But all of the companies that I've met with so far which are a lot of companies, they have the same problem. They don't have an understanding of how their employees are doing and how they're pushing out that knowledge. So let's say that I'm just excited about pushing this out, getting the data in, and then talk to me in probably maybe 6 months, and then I can actually have data to back everything up that I said here today. So that's what we are doing. Thank you.